Everything news, sports, and music here on Z90.7 WZIS-FM in Terre Haute.
This is the Shut-Ins Talk Show on Z90.7. Here we go! It's time to nerd out with all the latest in the world of video games, media, and technology.
Hello and welcome to the Shut-Ins Talk Show. It's DJP. With me as always is...
Gavin, the chef cook. Pickett, what's up, dog?
Everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that
There's
question.
a lot going on, but also we both sound like a bunch of reanimated zombies that...
That's true.
I don't think
my voice sounds as bad as it has before, thankfully. But
thankfully.
Yeah, I was
gross.
gonna say the universe decided to make me sick this weekend, so my voice is still recovering.
I think
from
it did that to everyone.
That is true. Pretty much
'Cause, like,
everyone I've talked to has been sick. In some
I
way,
sound
shape, or
worse
form.
than I actually feel.
Right.
I mean, I'm just, the medicine's actually working, so it's just
Right.
getting all of it out of me.
Right.
And so I sound worse than I feel.
I was gonna say, if you hear me clear my throat a lot, I'm sorry, but that is going to happen on this show. But
yeah, I just sniffle.
Yeah,
I'm past
well-
the clothering. Words are hard, bro.
all right. Anyway, let's talk about some other words that we do know how to speak.
Oh, I got
And-
it. I know it.
Do you?
I think so.
Okay. They go ahead.
Okay.
What do you mean?
You gave me permission? Okay.
What do you mean?
I'm
Talk about
leading.
it.
I'm leading the popcorn reading.
If you can read it, yes. Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. Book of Boba Fett trailer.
Yes.
First trailer.
Which is like I always want to say a month out, but
I'm gonna say the only trailer.
Well,
They
yeah.
better not give me another.
I doubt it. I would say the
Doubtful.
most that they will show is maybe something at Disney Plus Day, which I keep forgetting is going to happen in like probably a week and a half, which I definitely have forgotten about every single day since we talked about it. Because who knows what else they're going to talk about there.
Yeah.
But yes, the first full trailer of The Book of Boba Fett, which comes out December 29th.
Yo.
Comes out what? Do you realize something?
I forgot Robert Rodriguez of all people is directing most of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too.
This is gonna be Spy Kids and Star Wars.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding,
Dude,
but
I forgot. When I was
You know what
announced.
that means though?
What?
Danny Trejo has to show up.
Oh my God.
He is in everything Robert Rodriguez does.
You can't say that now
No,
because
but-
if I don't see Danny Trejo in a Star Wars movie, which I'm kind of surprised hasn't happened at this
It's a
point.
show, Jacob.
Or show,
Okay.
Don't get my hopes up
Okay,
like that,
I'm
Gavin.
sorry. That was just a meme. I do not sincerely mean it. But no.
But now I want it.
I literally looked down just to like read the title again because
Right.
Collider has clever article titles, and I saw Robert Rodriguez and I was like, what? And then I was
totally
like,
forgot about
what?
But yeah, in the trailer, it starts off with Boba Fett, or it shows one of those creepy spider monk things that hang out in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Since, for those who may not remember, the Book of Boba Fett is spurring from the end of Mandalorian Season 2, where in the after-credits scene of the very last episode, it shows Boba Fett and Fennec Shand showing up to formerly known as Jabba's palace, where they find Bib Fortuna just fat now, and he's taken over for Jabba, and he's like, hey, Boba, what's up? And Boba murders him, and then just sits there.
As he should.
Yeah. So him and Fennec Shand just out of nowhere take over what was formerly Jabba's palace and his whole, cartel, illegal activity ring going on. So it kind of details a little bit in this trailer about the kind of things we'll see. It shows them talking with some different criminal groups at times, and I believe Boba Fett says something along the lines specifically of talking about how Jabba lived ran everything through fear, but he is going to run everything on respect.
Yeah.
So he's not going to outright like torture people or like threaten them. He's just going to like showcase his dominance and like his power that he has, and people will respect like not wanting to front on that.
Yeah.
And still be able to work with them more equally.
Yeah. It's not my favorite comparison that they've used for this show yet, but it kind of makes sense. It gives off like Godfather vibes.
Yeah.
Which it's not my favorite comparison because it's Star Wars, and I
Yeah.
try not to compare it to like things that are realistic.
Right,
But
of
like
course.
that makes sense because we all love a good mafia story, and I feel like we just got the tip of the iceberg with that, and like parts of Clone Wars and a little teeny tiny bit of Rebels.
Yeah, like with Darth Maul starting the Shadow Collective and all of that.
And I feel like we deserve at least a good season of Boba Fett that's like a
Absolutely.
mafia story because like That was one of my favorite parts about Clone Wars and like their little, I don't even know how to, like their tiny story arcs that they did, like mid seasons before like something crazy would happen.
Yeah.
And it'd be like surrounded about something.
It'd be something underground.
Yeah. Similar to like, the whole like Padme stealing from the bank thing, like stuff like
Yeah.
that, where it's like more the crime side of it all. And I really like that because,
Yeah, because that's what Mandalorian started doing as well. Like that's like what half of it delves
Yeah.
into, and this is going to do that, but in more of the actual like cartel and
Yeah.
like.
it's going to take more of the frontline aspect.
Yeah, that's
of
the
it.
thing. It seems like they're only on Tatooine in this, so it seems like it's only going to be the people locally on Tatooine they're dealing with. But I think some of the people that show, because there's like a whole group of Trandoshans, like the lizard-looking aliens.
Yeah.
Like Bosk.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the most I've ever seen of like that species.
In live action, yes. Already, there's
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 of them there. That's already more than there's ever been.
Yeah,
in,
I
like,
meant
anything
live
else
action. Because like obviously in Clone
Yeah.
Wars, like Bosk had his own little thing going on too.
Yeah, and those Transoceans that's would capture people and hunt
Yeah.
them on that island, on that
Yeah.
one, whatever
That
planet
was
was.
such a sick episode.
Those episodes ruled.
but why
yeah.
Padawans? That's sad.
I know,
That's
that-
low-key
I-
worse than doing it.
It was very
real-
depressing, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it shows him talking like they show this one dude who I don't remember the species name, but like the name that was given to them back like when the first Star Wars movie came out was Hammerhead. So like that
yeah.
species, they have one of those things around their necks that like translates what they say, and like
Yeah.
he's sitting in some throne, so he seems like some big, crime family dude. I am curious if there'll be some crossover with some crime stuff that was delved into more in Clone Wars. Granted, it has been several decades.
Yeah.
And the last, timeline-wise, I think the last we saw anything of, like, the Shadow Collective and everything was in, well, it was to say in Solo, but also, like, but yeah, no, by then, we're not sure where anything happens, since that kind of is a cliffhanger. And then, technically, in Rebels, like, Darth Maul is there, but none of that
Yeah.
stuff's there. He's already been, like, he doesn't have any of that stuff anymore. He becomes
Yeah.
a hermit
He's already. I was gonna say he's already basically exiled himself and all that.
again.
Yeah.
By his choice this time. But yeah, so I'm curious if we'll see like some people show up from that, or at least like slightly related to that,
Yeah.
like the Pikes.
At least
and
give
stuff
us more
like that.
story to it.
Yeah, but again, I think since it'll probably be mostly on Tatooine, at least for this season, if there is another one, it's seemingly just going to be focused on Tatooine crime lords
Yeah.
and everybody there.
I was reading and I really love this idea. Filoni himself said like his plan is to like make it a not even a continuation, more so like a revamp and like modernization of the TV show George Lucas had to cancel, the Star Wars Underworld.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
I
said-
totally forgot about that.
He said like he doesn't want to like pick up where it left off, obviously, because it's about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But he's like, I want to like keep that story going, and and he said that like there's no like other arc that has been used for any other character,
Right.
and the only character that has used anything similar to that was Maul, and it was funny. George Lucas himself said that he spent years working on it, and it's a little bit sad that it was given to Boba Fett, despite Maul literally going through the same story beats in Clone Wars.
True.
But also, like, it's Boba Fett. Lucas himself was like, I'm glad that Boba Fett's alive. This
Yeah.
was my plan all along.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was gonna say because like in the expanded universe originally, Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc and then fell back in, and then got out again, and then fell in a third time, and then he was dead. I'm pretty sure. And yes,
Yeah.
which is funny because like people made the joke. It's also just crazy. I know we talked about this before, at least a little bit, but it's crazy to see how far Boba Fett's come from being the coolest loser in the galaxy by looking really cool at the end of one movie and standing there menacingly at the beginning of another, and then dying like a loser to a blind man.
see, now,
But now, then
that's always what never made sense to me. Like, obviously, Boba Fett looks cool.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember growing up watching the old Star Wars movies and my dad being like, oh, that's Boba Fett. He's, like, the most BA bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Right, because that's
Boba."
what they tell you.
And, like, at the end of episode 5, I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, this is.
And episode 6, I literally looked at him and I was like, the dude doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he does not do
He showed
anything.
up, gave a dirty look, was the reason why Han Solo was all grr about
Yeah.
it. And then at the beginning of the movie, he's just like, hey, let me poke your jetpack, and then,
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose.
Boba Fett, where? But then again, like in the expanded universe, that's the thing. In the expanded universe, they made him. Especially there was like a Boba Fett book series,
Yeah.
and I remember
Those books are great.
Yeah, I think I only read a couple of them, but I was like, they made this dude so BA. And
Yeah.
like that's and like the expanded universe stuff where it's just like stuff that was like before everything that happened, like him showing up in Empire and like just other adventures he went on like after he gets out. But I again, it sounds comical, which just goes along with Boba Fett at this point, unfortunately. Well,
Yeah.
I say up to this point. Previously, it did, because he's obviously way more BA now. Like in the trailer, they show him, like he's got some melee weapon. I don't know what it is, but he's got some two-handed like staff thing. And it's weird that he's fighting with his helmet off, but it's also funny because the faces he makes when he's beating the crap out of somebody is pretty funny
Yeah.
to see. But he is.
It's
I was just like in
he
clo-
makes faces like he thinks he still has the helmet on.
Right, exactly. Which is great because like at the end of Mandalorian season 2, after he shows up and gets his armor back, when he like has his, or like even before that, when he's just like hitting the stormtroopers so hard their armor is breaking, we're gonna get more of that, and I'm all about it
Yeah.
because they made everybody was like Boba Fett looked cool and was kind of cool in like background, but then they made him look like a loser. I was like, Mandalorian season 2 fixed a lot of that, and this show is going to do that tenfold. It's going to be incredible.
Mandalorian season 2 made what like people used to say about Boba Fett a reality.
Yes.
And that was like my favorite part
At
of
least,
season 2.
I would say at least in live action, because again, like in the books and expanded universe stuff, they expanded more
Yeah.
on it, as the name implies, and made him like the cool dude that everybody knew him to be.
Yeah.
But that was the first time he'd done it legit, and now he's got his own show.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I was like, what's the opposite of how the mighty have fallen? Because this is the opposite of that.
Oh, how the weak have grown.
Yes, there you
There you
go.
Hey, I just made that up on the spot.
There
Disney,
you go.
pay me.
I was gonna say that you're gonna be quoted on that for a millennia as like one of those quotes that says like from unknown speakers. You know what I mean?
I agree because that one of my favorite parts about the Mandalorian is it not only teaches people who don't know much about like an actual like Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because like I watched Clone Wars and stuff, and even then like in that series there wasn't like details on the rules of the Mandalorian and their armors and stuff.
Yeah, like
And-
well, I was gonna say between that and Rebels, they cover quite a bit, but like
Yeah.
it's not always explicitly said.
Exactly.
You know?
And so like I've always loved that about Mandalorian, and I love how like he's really good at hand-to-hand combat, but also he's the crafty, smart one.
Yeah.
He just gives off like a sheriff vibe.
Exactly.
Rather than having to like brutally beat someone to get what he wants. Mm-hmm. He's more so like menacing or just immediately respected once seen.
Yes.
But I love that contrast when Boba Fett shows up.
Yeah.
And and I'm excited for more of it in the show.
Yeah, especially because like when he came back in the show and like he was just like in these robes, he had like he had Tusken Raider weapons. Like he had clearly like beaten up a Tusken Raider and took his weapons. Like he had a gaffy stick, he had the rifle.
He definitely
and
turned,
he just ruined people, and he didn't have his armor.
he turned Tatooine into GTA.
Yeah, he did. He really. Dang, that's really accurate. Actually,
But no, but I love that. Literally my favorite part of that whole episode is that one part where like you just see him going crazy and then it just slow-mos once. Right as he cracks a stormtrooper, you just see his like whole helmet like
it's
deteriorating.
so good. I love it. That plays in my mind every time I think about Boba Fett now. It's so great. I'm so happy.
I need to go rewatch just that episode.
Well, me too. Well, I think you were saying something to me the other day, and you were like, "Hey, Jacob, you know what you should watch?" I was like, "Oh, rewatch all of Mandalorian before Book of Boba Fett comes out." Got it. Which I might do. At least season 2.
Low key started that.
Really nice.
I just started season 2 because I missed it, Mandalorian so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go watch season 1 again. I was like, really liked it, but I'm not in the mood for it right now.
Yeah, I was
like,
I might just watch season 2.
I was like, let's just jump back into season 2's action because man, season 1 did great, like building up. But I was like, I love the post build up, just how awesome he is.
Right, of course. That's the thing with a lot of things. Like when it comes to movie series and TV shows, sometimes you need like the first movie. It's kind of like how people describe, and I agree to this with like Deadpool. Like the
Yeah.
first Deadpool movie was good, but because they got all the introductory stuff out of the way, they were able to do whatever they wanted in the second one. And I believe the
Yeah.
second one is better
I was gonna say
in general and because of that.
Yeah,
because
I
they
was gonna
knew.
say, I really only go back to Deadpool 2
Yeah.
just because like when I think Deadpool, like we've talked about, I'm a comics guy.
Yeah.
And so usually after the one origin story in a comic, there's like so many other things that are just thrown on top of it.
Exactly.
And so like when I think of Deadpool, I just want the fourth wall breaking, just straight up crazy dude
Exactly.
out there murking people. And so yeah, that's a slightly off topic, but I think
Yeah.
it was a good discussion about seasons.
Yeah, no, exactly, absolutely.
But I'm excited for this though because this is one of those seasons that don't need introductory.
I'll say it doesn't need that because one, it's a character we've all known, and he got his introductory in a different show.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Whip,
that's
nay,
the
nay,
thing.
all
Espe-
that.
I'll say, especially with Star Wars and some of the shows they have out, like especially Ahsoka and Andor. Like those are already characters we know.
Those shows are going to be nuts.
Yeah, those shows are going to be nuts, and we don't need introductory, so we can get right to business.
Especially
from the
since
start.
Mandalorian gave Ahsoka that introductory
Exactly.
to her show.
And live
'Cause,
action,
like,
yes.
You know, if it were just like, oh, we're going to make an Ahsoka show without her showing up in Mandalorian, they probably would need a few episodes to be
Exactly.
like, hey, I'm hunting down this guy.
Right.
But we don't need that. But hey, guess what? We need to go to break.
Yes, we do. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about the possibility of a new game from a certain creator and writer that could mean some very interesting things in the future. And we'll talk about that when we come back on Shun's Talk Show.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Got to love it.
They get Patrick Warburton to do this episode?
Yeah.
This-
Have you never
sick.
noticed that?
Well, I was just making sure. Some people just do really good impressions.
Yeah, no, that's they got Patrick Warburton for this. It's really funny. I tried to do it away from the mic, and I feel like it was still loud.
Is that the dude from Disney Channel?
What'd you say?
The dude talking about smoking.
I don't
He
think it's
sounds like-
Ernie D. It's
Huh?
not Ernie D.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he was on radio. He was the host of Radio Disney, and also like did the commercials or
Yeah.
the. Of,
It sounds
oh,
like him, though.
It does kind of sound like him.
Or just like that
Maybe it is.
voice.
Say maybe it is him. Shoot, I don't know.
Google Smokey the Bear commercial with Patrick Warburton.
And possibly Ernie D. I just like that's his name. Also, when I saw what he looked like, it was not at all what I pictured.
Yeah, he
It was really
definitely
funny.
wouldn't look like what he sounds like.
Keep it here to keep it nerding out with the Shut-Ins Talk Show on WZIS Z90.7.
Ah, my glasses.
Waluigi time.
And we are back with the Shut-Ins Talk Show. So like I mentioned before, the talks of the game, more specifically what we're talking about, a new Marvel game coming from Uncharted and Star Wars veteran Amy Hennig. She
Yo.
was the writer, or let me get the straight facts here. She was the creative director and writer for the first 3 Uncharted games, if that tells you anything, before leaving Naughty Dog in 2014, which was a great decision in hindsight.
Yes, in
And then
hindsight.
she was working on another giant IP with a quote-unquote unannounced story-based linear action-adventure game set in the Star Wars universe, which I'm not sure if they're talking about something else, or the 1313 game, which had
Yeah.
a short little, like, gameplay teaser several years ago, and then Disney bought Star Wars and all that got canned, and that game will probably never ever get made, and I'll be sad about it for the rest of my life, because if you look it up, it looks awesome, and having, somebody, like, an Uncharted-style game, but in Star Wars, like,
Yep.
would have been great. The closest we've gotten to that now is Jedi Fallen Order,
Yeah.
but that's still more like a sort of, like, the combination of that and, like, kind of Dark Souls gameplay.
Yeah.
But still, Amy Hennig has done some incredible work, even on things that haven't been released, which is a very good get.
And she is sick, though, might I add.
Yes.
Because, like, the first 3 Uncharted games are some of, like, the best rated games in history, you know? Like,
yes, absolutely.
Or not even rated, just, like, well-received. Like,
yes.
Uncharted has, like, such a huge fan base. And, even the ones that she didn't, like, have a part in are still,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I was gonna say,
rated
like-
and raved about.
Well, I was
but-
going to say, yeah, because, I mean, that's a PlayStation exclusive still to this day. Like,
Yeah.
not everything has stayed an exclusive forever, but, like, when it comes to exclusives, PlayStation sticks with them for, like, a very long time,
Yeah.
and that one has,
And-
worked out
Yeah,
really
not to
well.
blow too much
And now they're
smoke
getting a movie,
toward, yeah,
you know?
Not to blow too much smoke towards PlayStation's way, but like I mean, when your exclusives are performing that well, like you kind of want to like try to monopolize off that.
I mean, yeah.
'Cause, like-
because it's your thing. You
Exactly.
can do whatever you
Like
want
we're
with
not
it.
going to see Kratos hopping up on an Xbox thing because
Well,
PlayStation's
unless you,
like,
well,
"Oh, you can have
unless
it."
unless you play Fortnite.
Well, yeah. I just meant like a God of War game specifically.
Right, yeah.
But like I don't blame him. But she is like not only is she just sick and makes great things, but like she is so kind too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you read some of the things like this quote where she's talking about like I couldn't imagine a better partner than Marvel for our first game. Oh,
Yeah.
because she also is the president of Skydance New Media,
Yes.
which is a new game studio in which she's the president of, and this is going to be the first game that they make as a studio. And she's just talking about how like the Marvel universe epitomizes all the action, mystery, and thrills of pulp adventure and whatnot. And that's going to be sick because she also said that she wants to use Marvel characters that aren't widely used.
Yes, that is what I like to hear.
And like, and I don't think that's rude because like we'll probably see characters that we know and love.
Yeah,
but like
for
don't
sure.
surround. As much as I love him, I'm tired of hearing about Tony Stark.
That's fair. I understand that completely.
Yeah, especially since it's still a sore subject to me right now. But
That's fair.
But like also, Iron Man couldn't have like an Uncharted style game, and,
Right.
And she may not even be making a Marvel Uncharted game, but
Right, but her being,
her thing,
creatively directing and writing,
Yeah.
or even, well, obviously, like, it's the head of her, like, new studio, so it's probably not just her doing it, but
Yeah.
she's still involved in some way.
Heavily.
So at least some of her influence is going to go through it, whether it be writing,
Yeah.
creatively directing, or both.
Yeah.
So still, whatever kind of style game it comes out, whether it's something like what we saw of 1313 or anything of the first 3 Uncharted games, we're not going to know for a long while here because it is a AAA title. They explicitly said that.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a lot of budget going into that.
The only thing, or the only like super popular, like very mainstream character that would work with like her style of game would be Spider-Man, and we don't need that.
I was say we already
Because
have.
we
I
have
would say
Insomniac.
Yeah, and we have the second
Because
one coming out. Yeah.
Her games are usually a character who is more strong-willed than physically strong.
Yes.
Like Nathan Drake, he gets his butt handed to him at least 6 times a game.
Yeah.
Like
I was
almost
say he's getting.
dead.
I was say he's getting shot at a lot. He's
He
climbing up
survives
mountains.
a
and
stab
things.
wound straight to the gut.
Yeah.
In mid-game,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, it's over. But then no,
No,
he
it's
just,
not.
It's like, hey, a month later, he's fine. You're
Exactly.
like, oh, cool. But like, I'm excited because not only like all this, me, I'm a huge Uncharted fan to begin
Yes.
with, and that's why I'm literally just going crazy over here about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's not a whole lot we know, like
Right, because it was just
story-wise
announced,
or whatnot. But like, it's a big deal being not only is it a new gaming studio whose president is basically a veteran in the
Yes.
community, but like some people who are involved, which she hasn't given names or anything, but she said that like she has some of the best like developers she could ever find to help with it.
Right.
And Jay Ong, the executive vice president, said, Amy has been setting the bar for narrative adventure games for decades, and we are so happy to collaborate with the talented and experienced new media team at Skydance. Their ambition and vision for making innovative entertainment using Marvel IPs is obviously going to be our first choice from the beginning, and we're excited to share more with fans when the time is right.
Right, and I'm all about that, especially because I know we talked about this a little bit over the last few months with, like a month or so ago when we got after that PlayStation showcase with, when the second Spider-Man PlayStation game was announced, when that Wolverine project was announced out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We saw more footage of that Midnight Suns game, which seems really interesting. Because I remember we were talking about then, and this adds more to it. We're like, Marvel has needed a big win in video games. Now, luckily, that Guardians of the Galaxy game that's come out recently has been one of those. Because a lot of people...
I was going to say, it's been said it's really good.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the trailers, and I was like, this doesn't look that great. And then people were like, oh, it looks a lot like the Avengers game, and that is a hot pile of garbage still, and has been since it released. So
Yeah.
people were like, the comparisons are real easy. They came out really close together. It just seemed like it was bad. Then the reviews came out, or like saw before the reviews even came out, I saw someone like the tweet or post about it, and they were like, yeah, I got an early copy of this to review, and I had leagues more fun than I ever expected to have in this game. And I was
Yeah.
like, maybe that sounds interesting. I wonder, like, what other people are going to think. And then the reviews came out, just rave reviews. Like, people always say everything is rave reviews. This game was loved. And then I saw somebody I follow that, like, streams on Twitch sometimes tweet about it, and they're like, yeah, I can't stop playing this game. I'm streaming it again. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it's like it turns out to be way better. This is a big win for them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
hopefully it's the start of many, like,
Well,
those other projects you mentioned.
You know how IGN is. They'll either tell you a story that's not true or
Yes.
give something a very bad rating that's unfair.
Yes.
They rated the game a 8 out of 10.
There you
And
go.
That was only one person who rated it first before they
Right.
did a collective rating. And when they did the collective rating, it stayed an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
And they were like, this game is crazy. The side missions are so enjoyable.
Yeah, I saw the dialogue, because some people were like, oh man, it's just going to be like watered down version of the movie stuff. I would say from some of the dialogue I heard, like that was
this
actually
isn't-
like entertaining. Like it's on par with the movie.
This isn't even like so obviously it's not MCU, but
Yeah.
their goal was like they didn't want this to feel like an MCU movie at all. They wanted it to feel like how the comics Guardians feels.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love the Guardians movies, don't get me wrong, like James Gunn made some phenomenal Marvel movies with it.
Yes.
I've always loved the comics versions better because they're a little bit more dysfunctional in the comics, but somehow work better. Whereas in the movie, it's either they all love each other at the same time or they're all mad at each other and, typical movie
That is fair,
stereotype.
yeah.
But from the looks of this game and the way it adapts and like how certain choices you make may affect something later.
Right.
Even though like ultimately it's all the same ending. But like the tiny adaptations to all that is just crazy and I think very like original in a game because like, usually it's similar to like the choose your adventure style. You go this way,
Yeah.
your ending is going to be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally have never seen a game where these small choices you make these adaptations throughout the game, whereas you may ultimately end up here, but you may have someone else by your side.
Right.
And that's cool because like, you could make friends with these people that you go on a mission in the game with, but then later on, this other group hates you because you didn't help them out.
Right. Exactly.
And that's sick.
Yeah, and so again, like that's a big win in Marvel video games, I should say, in general, because Marvel's obviously been having wins all over the place, mostly in TV over like the last year.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, a big win for Marvel in the games department because the latest one was Avengers, and it's so bad that it's still talked about. Not because people play it, but because it's really
Hey,
bad still.
fingers crossed
And
that
for
they
you-
fix it for the Spider-Man DLC because I'm just curious.
and that still hasn't come out, and they promised that like over a year ago.
They
which
promised
is-
it. They never gave a date though. They just said
well,
it's happening.
yes. Well, they said it was happening. Then they said it wasn't happening. Then they said, "Nah, just kidding, it is happening." And then it's been radio silent since then. And
What do you
at
mean?
this
They
rate,
gave
at
a
this
timeline for it though. It's supposed
the
to come out in December.
timeline, yeah.
Oh yes, let's 2 months in advance talk crap about it because it hasn't happened yet.
I'll say
Oh my gosh,
it's a month.
that's-
I'll say it's a month.
That's toxic.
I'll say it's a month in advance, and the game is a dumpster fire. You literally agree with me on that.
No, the game sucks. But I'm just saying you're being toxic about it.
No, I'm just saying I'm not gonna
toxic.
be surprised.
I'm toxic about it from a factual standpoint.
Uh,
You're hating
so
on it
am
for
I.
no reason.
That's not true.
They have not
How
confirmed
dare you?
nor denied.
How dare you? Exactly. That's the problem. They've
No,
said
that's not the
nothing.
problem. They gave the timeline, meaning you can sit and wait on it. When Mortal Kombat released the Combat Pack, they didn't get a weekly update like, oh yes, it's still happening.
That's a false equivalency.
Oh yes, it's still happening. No.
No,
You're saying that
this
because
is a different thing because they announced it and then they said, then the Sony and Marvel issues happened, so they said, no, it's not happening anymore.
Yeah, but 2
And
weeks
then-
ago, not 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, they literally like gave a timeline similar to how they did the Combat Pack DLCs.
Yes.
And you're sitting here going, well, they haven't mentioned anything else about it.
Well, okay, that's
Follow
also
the timeline.
that's also okay, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to happen because again, they said it would happen before,
It's gonna happen.
and it didn't happen. Well, it's funny because overall, it doesn't matter because no one's gonna play it anyway. I'll say you don't own the game, I don't own the game.
Oh, I'm not gonna play it. I'm just
Exactly.
curious.
I'm curious. if it's
Hey,
gonna be
I
good.
know people who do play it because they
Yeah.
don't care about the bugs. They just have fun like goofing with it.
Except when the game shows your IP address on screen if you're streaming it. That happened one time.
Don't stream it then.
That was
Duh.
next. Sure. All right.
Hey, don't stream that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know if they fixed it. I assume they did, but I just
No,
that
they
was like
fixed it.
okay, good.
Because
Thank
like
God.
one of the guys I watch on YouTube, he was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be posting Avengers videos till they fix this."
Right.
He was like, "I love the bugs because it makes the game a little goofier." He was like, "But this one I can't do."
Yeah, I don't need to be doxxed by simply playing a video game because what?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
No, but they fixed it because I just watched a new video the other day because I'm only gonna pay attention just to see him play as Spider-Man.
Right. That's the thing, because people thought like, oh, the Black Panthers DLC came out. Did that raise the player base? No, it did not.
It low-key did, like, it didn't raise, like, a significant amount, but it made, like, people who did play it enjoy the game more because they fixed a lot with it, even though that there's still, like, certain problems. But also, like, some of the problems people have are, like, why is that an issue? Because, like, someone literally was like, why is Black Panther run faster than the Hulk?
Well, okay, see, that's a non-issue. I was saying
That's what
the
I'm
main
saying,
issue you
like-
should have is that it's giving away your IP address sometimes. Also, the game is glitchy and doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause,
That's
like,
the main problem.
the dude's like, I love it when it glitches because, like, I'll be fighting this guy over here, and the next thing you know, 3 dudes are fighting me.
So, and then,
He's like,
and
it's
then-
kinda fun.
Yeah, and then one pings off into the stratosphere, and then one of them just deletes itself in front of me. It's great.
Hey, that's how real life works, bro.
If you
I'll
live
do it
in-
right now.
I was say if you live in Skate 3, yes, that everything works like that, and also you can't die no matter what horrible random thing happens to you.
I'm glad we're on the same page about this now. I thought you were just being mean for no reason.
No.
I was like, if you're gonna hate it for the right reasons,
I was
not because you're like, oh, it's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying, but I will say, I will not be surprised if it either gets pushed back again or they just don't talk about it and it doesn't happen. It would not
Hey,
be a surprise.
I'll
to me.
accept that answer. But you know what we should do?
What?
Since we just rekindled our friendship.
Yeah.
We should go to break.
We should. And when we come back, a certain someone who we talked about voicing a fictional character a while ago
King.
is now voicing another one.
As
and
he
we're
should.
gonna have a fun time talking about this when we come back on the Shut-Ins Talk Show.
Yeah.
I still can't believe
I did that one on purpose.
Right.
A yeah is perfect for that.
Well, that's fine because I turn off this so they don't hear the ads first and then us.
yeah.
So, which I should do it back the other way actually because that makes sense. 'Cause I'm going that way. Whatever.
It's whatevs. I ain't
I hate this
complaining.
picture. And I hate this picture of his face next to this animated monstrosity.
Yeah, I don't know why they. You know what I hate more than anything?
What?
Is the picture they used for him for the Mario thing.
Oh yeah.
I hate that picture so much.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
The pictures they used for all the like celebrities.
It was really weird.
It's the equivalent to like when you do like a school project and you just pull up a picture of a celebrity for like a slideshow or something.
Yes.
You just grab the first one and throw it in there.
Right.
That's what Japan did.
Yeah, that's what Nintendo did for that.
I blame all of
Slaughter-
Japan.
What's a Jedi?
Keep listening to the Shut-Ins Talk Show, only on Z90.7 WZIS.
Bum,
Welcome back to the Shut-Ins Talk Show. So, I didn't think I would report on I didn't know I'd talk about almost the same thing, but slightly differently twice in the span of like a month or two on this show, at least this semester.
It's been like 3 weeks tops.
And it's at least a month. Hell, it might be 3 weeks. Who knows? But last
Still way
time,
too soon.
Yeah, way too soon. Because I don't know what's happened with the universe to lead us to this point. But it is announced that there's going to be a new animated feature of Garfield, and lo and behold, he will be voice acted by none other than Chris Pratt, the recently announced new Mario.
God bless Collider,
It's
by the
now
way.
Garfield as well.
God bless Collider. They said Chris Pratt casts as Garfield a new animated movie, doubling down on playing characters who love Italian food.
That's
Subtitle:
true.
No word yet on if Charlie Day will voice Odie.
Yeah, so I don't why someone jokingly / half not jokingly tweeted, has Hollywood run out of white male actors?
No.
And well, it seems like
No,
it because
hey.
why has he been casted for 2 lead voice acting things
In really big
like,
IPs.
In really big IPs are like a month apart. This is
Hey,
weird.
Okay,
how
the
did
Mario-
this happen?
So Garfield makes more sense than Mario
I agree.
because, like, you know, Garfield's like lazy and just goofy.
Yeah.
And like before Guardians, what was Chris Pratt known for? Parks and
that,
Rec.
yeah.
And that was his whole character.
Yes, it was.
But
that was
no, I know
Andy.
what you mean though. But
Like
like also,
it's funny. Like when he got announced as Mario, the jokes from that and all that whole casting was hilarious. I laughed.
Top tier.
I was like, people still make jokes about it. It's still funny. It will always be funny until December of next year when the movie comes out. And we talked about it here, and we're just messing around talking about that being
Yeah.
talked about. But now it's just like this is also funny because it's like, is this even real? Like it didn't seem real. And also on top of that, I found this out the other day. Like. This guy I watch on YouTube, Jack's Films,
I've seen him
I was
before.
say him making jokes about Garfield has been a long-running joke on the channel for years. Last week, he had a video where he gave these people this really lame Garfield comic because most of them aren't actually funny. He was
Yeah.
like, make this Garfield comic funny, and so he looked at a bunch of like submissions of it, and one of them made a joke about Chris Pratt being Mario, and he was like, you know what? Screw it. Chris Pratt should just be the voice of Garfield now. 4 days later, this news comes out, and then he immediately, like within the day, posted like a short on YouTube that just said, "Guys, I was kidding," and it showed the clip of him saying that, and then played the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme while showing the Hollywood Reporter article talking about this. So it's all his fault. If you have any like actual like substantial gripes about this, go to Jack's Films
yeah, I was
on
gonna say,
YouTube.
take it out on Jack's Films.
Go to his Twitter and be like, "I hate you, Jack. This is all your fault."
All right,
Because it basically is.
before we get back to the slander, I will say there is one
I won't
thing.
say slander. I'm just joking.
There is one thing. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just playing, but there is one thing that gives me like not even hope, but like that I'm more okay with this movie happening from, and that's that the director and the writer made Emperor's New Groove, which has
Oh,
some of the
word?
funniest jokes
Yes.
in any children's movie
that
ever.
movie still holds up. That movie's hilarious.
And so like, yeah, it's actually cool. So the director Mark Dindal, he made Emperor's New Groove and Chicken Little, or
Yeah.
he directed
Oh God.
them.
Yeah.
And then the writer who also wrote Emperor's New Groove for the director was the writer for Finding
Nemo, yeah.
And so like that's sick.
That's a pretty good group to have.
Hey, if this movie's still bad, I don't care. He made Emperor's New Groove. I will give him all
Yeah, I
the
was
respect in the
gonna say,
world.
like nothing against him overall. Like if the movie's bad, whatever. But I just can't get over. I can't get over. Like, is it cool? It's cool that this is existing. I can't remember what was the last big thing Garfield did? Was it the second live action movie?
Tale of Two Kids? No, they made the Garfield show on Cartoon Network.
Well, yeah,
that was
yeah.
after the movie.
That was a while after.
It was
the
really
movie, but
popular though. Like
That's true. I watched it a lot.
enjoyed that show.
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I was say Garfield has a weird history of TV shows because they're always like they're always really weird because when you look at the source material, there's really not much source material.
Yeah.
So you kind of just make stuff up. That's why all the shows and movies
They give
are
him
weird.
so many character traits that we didn't know he had.
Yeah, and then they just like have all these other specifically the Garfield show. Like there was an episode where like he was somehow going to like different planets or dimensions or
He
something.
became a superhero.
Well, that's been a
they made a
long-standing
whole-
thing.
they
They made a
made a
whole
whole-
movie.
yeah,
A
they
whole
made a whole-
animated movie about that.
Yep. And it
I
had
remember that.
it was its own spin-off movie of that one episode where Garfield got superpowers.
Yeah, well, no, that's the thing. I think like Super Garfield over that was made as like a little thing in some of the older comics, and then
No,
they
I know
turned it
that.
into.
I just meant like
Well, I was
they
thinking- yeah, but I was like, I think that movie happened before the Garfield show, though.
probably
think.
that show was just a fever dream.
Everything about Garfield's a fever dream. Everything.
Yeah,
The fact
very
that this
true.
this character existing is a fever dream.
Yeah.
Because you look back at the comics, like none of them are actually funny or clever. Really, they're all just
Yeah.
kind of like
It's just like,
statements. Yeah, they're all
lasagna.
Yeah, it's just like they're all statements, and like I just like you're amazed that they even
Yeah, where's
went
my
on that
Calvin
long.
and Hobbes movie?
Right?
That would be sick.
I would be fine with that.
But
yeah.
no, you know what really makes me sad about all this though
Mm-hmm.
is I think it was Lyric earlier who's talking to us, and Lyric Utterback, one of the DJs here that we work with, he said he thinks that Hollywood has ruined voice acting for good. But
Right.
like
I was like, I wouldn't say it's ruined,
While
but it
there's-
is annoying
Yeah.
that all these big movies, instead of getting actual voice actors, they just keep getting celebrities.
Yeah,
for
which
the
while
sake of
they're-
getting celebrities.
yeah, well that's a great argument. I don't think you can say that about Chris Pratt though. He just so happened to have been cast in two really weird animated movies for him to be voice acting in.
Right. I was gonna say
'Cause
like the
he did-
juxtaposition makes it seem worse.
Exactly, because he did great in Onward.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
true.
awesome in the Lego movies.
Yes.
And and he's always like his voice has always been fun to use for anything.
Yeah.
Like even in like shows where it's like, a live action sitcom, he always like plays with his voice when he plays a comedian role.
Yeah.
Specifically Parks and Rec. There was always that once an episode he always had like a funny voice.
That's true.
But like overall, it makes me sad because like Chris Pratt's a talented dude.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of flack because he's Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And like some of it I agree with. Like let's bully him a
Yeah,
little
I mean,
bit.
yeah.
Head got a little too big because he lost his baby fat.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Overall though, like I don't know him as a person, but like he's a good, like he's talented.
Yeah.
I was almost say he's a good guy, but like he's talented.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say this and then something happened and
Right.
all hell burns loose.
Yeah.
Breaks loose.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I didn't think I'd be talking about Chris Pratt becoming the main character or voicing the I guess becoming the main character of both Mario and Garfield. That was not on my 2021 bingo card, to say the least.
I just love
It's
how
just so
Collider
weird.
is bullying him right now.
Are they? I'm looking at the Hollywood Reporter, so.
Collider is just like made like basically a Lemon article about it.
Nah.
They said the actor will have big shoes to fill, as the iconic Bill Murray was
Yeah, dude.
previously voiced the lasagna loving
Isn't it?
feline.
Yeah, and it's weird that they made a live action Garfield movie where it was just where I say live action, everything was live action except him. He was an animated cat.
The movie was live action.
They made not one but two of those before ever making an actual like animated thing. Because you would think if something was a comic, they would make an animated
Hey,
movie first.
Both
but
performed well though. 200 million on the first one, 143 on the second.
That's insane because both those movies are like also fever dreams. Again, like I said earlier, everything involving Garfield's a fever dream.
Yo, Jim Davis, hook us up with a.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up. Actually, I don't actually know if
Garfield's made its debut in '78, so I don't think he's that old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Is he still alive? Yes, he's 76.
Yeah, he's just a bucket of dust.
He is. Yeah, he's quite old.
Just a bucket of dust.
He is.
Oh,
they
should have him write it. See if his Alzheimer's kicks in and fixes it.
Boo. We don't know that he has that.
I wasn't making fun of him for it. I was just saying, like, I feel like that would be more interesting than just making an actual story about.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. Like, what is this movie even gonna be about?
Hey, probably the
Like,
cat
what?
likes. Hey, I got it. I figured it out. Cat likes lasagna and hates the dog. Oh, boom, boom, boom,
hates
boom.
Mondays.
Wrap it
hates
up.
the dog.
Give me monies.
That's the thing. But like,
I hope it gets released on a Monday.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. But like with how animated movies of like pre-made IP have been happened lately, like a lot. Obviously, like Illumination kind of gets a bad rap because a fair amount of their movies kind of just follow the same formula, whether they're actually good or actually
Granted,
bad.
like 4 or 5 of them were Minions.
That is also
Despicable Me, but
yes, but that is true.
they drug that IP through the dirt until they were
did.
only holding on to a thread.
Yeah, they did. But that's the thing. Like that's the thing. People are gonna jokingly make scripts for this movie where it's gonna be like Garfield and Odie are gonna go on an adventure. And then get lost somewhere, and then they're gonna like hate each other. Then they're gonna find themselves, and then they're gonna be friends again. And then movie's gonna end with a dance party, like how every animated movie
time out.
ends.
Yo. Sony's making this. Illumination's making Mario.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like
You got it twisted.
I know, but still, like a lot of animated movies have started following that. Like
Yeah, unfortunately,
that
though,
even
that's-
Pixar and Disney, you know what I mean? Like a lot of movies have started following that same formula.
Yeah.
So like people are gonna joke for the next year or two until this movie actually comes out because animation does take a long time.
Which unfortunately,
And people are gonna make all those jokes, and who knows how accurate it's gonna be. But I just wonder what are they gonna make the plot for this movie? Like I don't get it.
I think the funniest part is that's true, but also everyone who like judges that and hates that, and that's including us. I'm not better than anyone. We're 2 grown men.
That is
who sit
also
here and
true.
criticize children's films.
That's true. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not like obviously criticizing a movie that's not even close to being out yet. I'm just curious because, like, again, I've seen the Garfield movies, the animated one,
I want
some of the shows. I just don't know what they would even make the plot for this because they've kind of done everything already.
I want Uncut Gems level.
Oh my god.
Story writing in
Word?
this new Garfield movie.
Well, now I want Adam Sandler to voice Garfield, and now I can't have that.
No,
Thank you.
because-
no, he's gonna play John.
Yep.
Yeah, get Adam
But
Sandler
John
to play
has
John.
to talk like yabba dabba doo.
Yeah. Why do you go? Yeah, but he's not Fred Flintstone. Why?
Well, I didn't mean to say yabba dabba doo. I said yabba yabba doo. Might I say? Hey,
Oh my god.
chill. Hey,
I'll say the closest-
Adam Sandler in the new Flintstones reboot.
I was gonna say the closest we've gotten to talking about Fred Flintstone was that Warner Brothers fighting game. That we talked about last week. That'll be coming out at some time.
If he
'Cause it
doesn't
could
have
happen.
a special move that's just Dino wrecking
Oh,
someone
that
with
has
his
to
neck.
be. It's like I was like, yeah, but
Dino
like,
just walks in neck
I
swinging.
was like, who owns Garfield? Who owns that IP?
Sony now apparently.
Oh yeah, I get. Apparently, I was gonna say who actually. I'm gonna own it. Who owns Garfield? That's all. That's. I put Garfield like the meme.
Garfield.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Viacom does. Garfield was acquired by Viacom for Nickelodeon in 2019.
Shut up, Viacom.
And then Jim Davis continues to produce the Garfield comic strip. And then it said Nickelodeon plans to develop a new Garfield animated television series. I don't think that's ever happened, though. I guess it got turned into this, maybe?
What?
It says from this thing in 2019, Nickelodeon plans to develop a new Garfield animated television series. That was August of 2019. I don't think that's been made. So either it just didn't happen, it's going to happen still, but way down the line, or it's just this now.
Probably just this.
I would assume so. But yeah, so Chris Pratt is Garfield, Chris Pratt is Mario. People made jokes that eventually this is like the slippery slope that leads to Chris Pratt voicing Goku.
Yeah.
And I don't want to live in that world. I just don't.
Okay,
But
that's not okay. That's not gonna happen.
you say that now.
Don't jinx
You
it.
say that
You
now.
always get mad at me for jinxing things or saying, "Hey, don't say that. You're gonna accidentally bring it to life."
No, but you
don't do this.
No, but you saying definitely that it won't
Wrong.
happen
Wrong.
is jinxing it more.
wrong.
I was like,
You better knock on wood right now, Pickett. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. For those of you that heard that noise, that was me knocking on wood. So anyway, we're gonna
I'm
go
gonna
to
kill
break.
this guy.
Anyway, we're gonna go to break. We have audio proof of him threatening me. Anyways, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about another big trailer that's come out in the past 2 days. Luckily, things
Which
came
is
out.
more important.
Yes, and it also, luckily, some big news came out before the show happened for once, which is very like soon. Instead of like waiting a week, it's like we had to wait a day.
Yeah.
In this case, but we'll talk about that when we come back on Shannon's Talk Show.
Does Twitch hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to be known. I'm not scared of prison.
Oh my god!
I will kill you over Goku.
Oh my god! You'll kill me over Chris Pratt Goku? That's crazy.
I'll kill you over it not happening because you wanted to get all snarky about it.
Well, I'm saying you said it's not going to happen, and you saying it as a definite makes it more likely.
Saying
to
it's not going to happen because one, he probably doesn't even like Goku.
You think he cares about Mario and Garfield?
Yes, Chris Pratt would be the guy who obsesses over Mario and Goku. Let's be real here.
You said Mario and Goku.
Did I say Goku? I meant
Yes,
to say
you did.
Garfield.
Yeah.
See what you did to me?
Yeah.
See what you've done? I'm about to jump headfirst out the window. Tilt the camera a little bit so they can get a full view.
I'm not going to do that.
Why?
Because then we won't have proof of it, so I can't get blamed for anything.
Oh, you'll hear it.
Hearing is a totally different thing.
Glass break. Ah.
Glass break, Stone Cold comes out.
What you currently have
By the way,
in
I
your
love the
mouth.
ice cream commercials.
This is the Shannon's Talk Show on every
I've
Wednesday
never
night
seen
from
those.
6
You're
to
gonna have
7
to show me
p.m.
those.
only
That
on
sounds awesome.
WZIS Z90.7.
And we are back with the Shut-Ins Talk Show. So we talked a little bit about some slight Marvel news in the game world earlier, and now it was announced on Monday. I forget who or what originally tweeted it, but they were like, "Hey, tomorrow, new Morbius trailer coming out." So yesterday, the newest Morbius trailer came out, and this movie looks insane. Because I'd like. Like a lot of people, I didn't really know much about Morbius until when the first trailer came out earlier last year or like mid last year. So it's been over a year since the first trailer. So I'm glad we finally got something. But I didn't know much about the character. And, that trailer, original one, told us a fair amount of stuff. But this trailer...
It told us enough.
Yeah, this trailer told us a lot more. And, Lord, does this movie look like it's insane.
I'm just
and
hoping...
I'm even more interested in it now.
I'm just hoping that... oh my gosh, I don't know why it completely blanked just a second, but I'm just hoping that we don't get too much information strewed upon, which we probably won't. I feel like that's the first thing we always say about a superhero movie.
Right.
Is like we don't want to know too much, which I feel like
I'll say that about any movie.
a lot of people are going to really enjoy this or really excited about this movie, obviously, already.
Yes.
But I don't think it's like a super beloved character.
No, nobody knows.
So
what
I
this is.
I don't think Sony's gonna get too excited to like throw more information out there.
That's true, and I'm fine with that. But also, as soon as they announced this trailer coming out, and I started watching it, and as soon as I showed, because for those who may not know or may not remember, Jared Leto playing the character of Morbius, who is the lead of this.
The living vampire.
His usual full title is Morbius the Living Vampire. This movie is simply called Morbius, apparently in all caps, according to this.
Morbius and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
No,
Why?
that's a
Why?
different thing. You
Oh.
got your stuff mixed
No,
up.
it's not Morbius in all caps. It's just the font.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's in all caps, but the letters are slightly smaller.
Gotcha. But yes, as soon as I saw Jared Leto in this, I'm like, dude, I just want Jared Leto to have a win in in some sort of superhero movie because this dude has not succeeded.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I was just saying, I just want him to get his superhero win so he stops trying.
Yeah,
because
he's a great actor.
I just want him like almost everybody that tries like a superhero thing. Like if one doesn't work, they eventually get another one. Like Halle Berry was originally Catwoman. That was a dumpster fire and a half, and then some. And then she got to be Storm for several movies.
Halle Berry,
great.
Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans.
Yes, exactly. Obviously, I would argue Chris Evans, both were good, but yes, overall,
No,
in the
like
grand scheme of
character-wise,
things-
he was good though. But
yes, but obviously
Fantastic
the
Four
movies
itself
did
was.
whatever. Yeah,
But
yes. So I'm
hey.
hoping that his attempt, like the Joker, did not work out for Jared Leto. He's aware of that.
Yeah.
But this movie, he looks fantastic in this, both as just like the Dr. Morbius that's like has that rare disease that's slowly killing him.
Yeah.
And then like they show him he's like, oh, we need to put he's like if we're gonna find a cure, we need to push past modern medicine stuff and start looking for more like alternative things. So you see him in this jungle and there's like this waterfall or whatever, and he slices his hand open, and he's talking to the other people around him. He's like, if you want to run now, here's your last chance.
Oh, he does it with echolocation. Those little strings in front of him. Like, because when he touches them, they're going to vibrate.
Well, no, I thought it was like a waterfall or something that he put his hand under.
It's like a big rectangle with strings.
I have the
attached to it.
trailer here. I don't know why I'm guessing. I have it literally right in front of me. But yeah, like anyway, he slices his hand open. It's like bleeding. Then a bunch of bats show up, and everybody else around starts freaking out. Then he starts screaming, and then it like cuts to black, and then you hear a voiceover saying like, Dr. Morbius, like you went missing 2 months ago, and then you showed up in like an abandoned missing freighter. After that, completely unexplained. And then they didn't say this, but also you're not crippled anymore, and you're super buff now. What happens?
Yeah, where'd you get the muscles, guy?
Yeah, you suddenly have a bunch of muscles, and you don't have that life-threatening disease anymore. So then it turns out like he's got like these claws. He's got like obviously some like enhanced like strength and survivability. And then his eyes go weird sometimes, and he even says it because he starts listing off the abilities he's discovered he has in the trailer. He says some form of echolocation. Like obviously he can see with his eyes.
Which looks sick.
Yeah, the effects on it look wild.
Yeah. Even like, I would rather like when he goes like full vamp mode, I would prefer that.
Oh yeah, that also they show him turn into some weird demonic vampire looking thing.
Which that's how the character works. Like he looks normal, but then he gets hungry or whatever, and his face gets all contorted and whatnot.
Yeah, then he's got claws. His skin's gray.
I would
red
prefer
eyes.
that they did it with like practical effects, and like it was just like special effects makeup or putty or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it looks fine with the CGI aspect. Because
Yes.
like, I get it if it's gonna switch back and forth repeatedly. Mm-hmm. But it looks sick. Like it all looks sick.
And here's the thing too. I didn't realize the cast of this movie was so insane. Like seeing everybody pop up in this movie, I was like, what do you mean this person's in that movie? What? I didn't even know that.
I already know which one is the most surprising to you. Because you probably said the same thing I said when I was watching the trailer. You just see like a cop and he's talking or whatever, and then the camera moves a little bit, and you're like, Tyrese?
I know, yeah.
Tyrese Gibson of all people.
I didn't know he was in this movie. Dude. I was going to say, like, we knew Michael Keaton was going to be in it because they showed him in the first trailer, which led people to believe, like, is this connected to the MCU? Is it not? But then they have Jared Harris, who I don't think that he was not shown until this trailer. He played Moriarty in the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes films.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. And then they showed Matt Smith, formerly known as the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who. Matt Smith's in this movie. I didn't know that at all. So he did, and then I think you hear him say like maybe one line, but then they showed him walking down the street in a suit, and I'm like, what do you mean Matt Smith's in this movie? Like, what is this?
This is a Doctor Who crossover now?
I was like, yeah, from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy. So, yeah, the cast is nuts. And then also, somebody made a comment that I didn't really think about until like I watched the trailer again, and I'm seeing it more as I watch the trailer a third time while sitting here talking with you, Gavin. Because somebody was like, also talk about like, what Marvel Universe is this in? Because there's technically like 4 or 5 if you look over the grand scheme of things over the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, apparently it's all of them. Because at one point there's a shot and you see a building that says Oscorp on it. So Oscorp exists. There's that shot they repeated from the first trailer where there's a picture of Spider-Man on a wall and somebody spray painted murderer on it.
Yeah.
Which seems to be playing off of Far From Home.
But
at the end of that.
No Way Home, you mean? Technically.
No, playing off the end of Far From Home is what I mean.
But still,
but then also there was like a newspaper thing, and it mentions something that relates to the Amazing Spider-Man, either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's because it
apparently
talks
it's
about
playing in all of
Rhino
them.
and Black Cat.
Yes,
and Electro,
exactly.
I think. But
I would say Rhino for sure is mentioned in it, and Black Cat.
But
so it's like, this is so weird.
The picture of Spider-Man that has murderer painted over it. That's from. It's also Toby's suit.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it's Toby's. I think it's like closer to Toby's suit, but I think it's like from promotional material for like the PS4 game. I think it's where that specifically.
It looks
is from.
It looks like a literal grab from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
It could be as well. I could have that mixed up. But
I obviously didn't paint the mural for the movie, but like it looks like there's elements from all 3 versions of Spider-Man.
Right, exactly.
And this is the part. This is why this is why No Way Home has so many crazy fans right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to tease a multiverse. Great, tease us all you want. But then they do stuff like this that literally just has us like.
But this is Sony too. Like
No,
it's not even related to that.
But if it's a multiverse, then
Right.
it's both of them.
Well, I
Who
was
have
gonna say
a
because
hand in
people obviously like, we had some more like Spider-Man, Sony, and Marvel, Disney issues again come up earlier this year. Because that's just a yearly tradition.
Apparently,
at
they
this
got
point.
fixed with Venom, though.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
don't
say,
spoil it for us. I don't know what happens. I just
in the second one, yeah, I haven't.
Twitter is
seen, I was
just
like-
trying to ruin everything for me, so I had to mute Venom.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like because they show Michael Keaton again, and like when they show him the first trailer, like nobody can tell like who he's playing as, so you would think, oh, he's in jail from MCU, and because that's the Vulture, Because then he's talking to like Morbius, and in this trailer he's like, hey doctor, you should call me up sometime. We can work together, work something out. Because like Morbius is, I would say, more of a villainous character because he is a living vampire. He does murder people.
So his thing is like, at least from the comics, he's an anti-hero. But what makes him?
Yeah, let's say here the line between hero and I don't know what else it's gonna say. We're not there yet.
Yeah, because like he's not overall evil.
The line
but,
between
like,
hero,
let's be real
yeah,
here.
it says the line between hero and villain, so he's more of like an anti-hero.
Yeah, so like
type character.
he's not overall
Oh, it says
evil.
will be broken. Yeah, who knows?
He's not overall evil, but like let's be real here. A vampire is gonna get hungry.
Yeah,
he gonna
I would say
accidentally murk someone.
I would say he says that because that's what people are saying. They're like you're supposed to be. You said that your like job, your role was to heal people, not hurt people, and it shows like a quick cut of him slashing throats and grabbing people in
As
the
he
dark
should.
and stuff.
King.
And then it shows some chill. And then it shows him like in this weird pose where he's like reaching out. And there's like a million bats around him. And he's got this gross look on his face. He's like half and half between transformation. This movie looks, and then it shows him like snarling for a couple seconds as like the full like transform Morbius.
Yeah.
And he looks insane, man. Like I was gonna say, I am way more. And then like the last part of the trailer is really weird.
Yeah, when
because
he's talking to that dude.
that tries to stab him.
No.
Because that was the weirdest part of the trailer to me. Like this guy goes to stab him and he just like grabs his arm and then like breaks it, and then he's like he says something like in his like Morbius like demonic vampire voice and like freaks him out, and then he just goes, "Just kidding, I'm Dr. Morbius."
That's
like,
not
here
what
to help you."
happens.
Yes, it is. I'm watching it.
No. So he goes to stab him, and the dude's like, wrist twisted, typical superhero stop someone from stabbing you pose.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What are you?" And he goes, "I'm Venom," and like snaps at him.
That didn't sound like it's what he said.
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah, I'm putting subtitles on this.
He
Hold
says-
on.
he says-
I need to know this for sure.
He says, "I am Venom," and then does like a little snarl snap at him.
Oh, there's-
And he goes, "I'm just playing, Dr. Michael Morbius at your
I
service."
would say there's no closed captioning, so I can't see if that's actually right or not. But also, it does say
Would I
like,
cap?
possibly, but
Oh.
I don't trust anybody. You know this,
Screw
but
the
also
line between hero and
but also
villain.
at
You're
the
about
very-
to cross the line between friendship and friendship. Best friendship.
yeah, okay. Good
I don't know
one.
what's
I'll say
happening.
good
English
one.
is such a hard language.
Anyways, I'll say you got to work on that. But I was gonna say like, so at the very least, this probably might be like in the same world as Venom, since that's also the Sony thing. And Venom,
I mean,
Venom
it
and
would
Carnage.
be.
I would
'Cause,
think
like,
so.
So
But that's what's so weird, dude. All of this, like the future is gonna be so crazy.
So what's
for Marvel-related
happening is-
movies because we don't know.
yeah.
Because like
specifically for Spider-Man.
Yeah, everything related to Spider-Man is just super up in the air because they keep going back and forth every 6 months about stuff.
Yeah.
We have movies. I mean, this trailer alone is seemingly connected to all like 3 or 4
all
different Spider-Man
shenanigans,
universes.
bro.
Yeah, it's all shenanigans. Apparently.
It's all collusion.
Or they just put all those things in there because Sony knew it would drive up talk because of the other, No Way
Yeah.
Home coming out. And those things
Probably.
aren't in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd
So-
be, I mean, it would kind of be a scumbag move.
So-
but also I wouldn't blame them because you're getting us to talk about it. You're getting everybody to talk about it.
So basically, this is what happens. I'm reading the thing on here, and it says, to recap, Morbius is a movie set within the SPUMC, Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
Yes.
And that also has knowledge of both the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies, and an appearance by a Tom Holland villain. WTF, what's going on?
I was gonna say I was hoping for like an actual breakdown on why and how, but even
then-
they don't know.
So they say that, but then there's like more here, and it's like, from where we're standing, there are 3 options to explain this.
Mm-hmm.
Option 1: the trailer is deceptively cut to build as much hype as possible because it is a piece of marketing, which
yes,
fair,
which goes with No Way Home as well. Yeah.
exactly. Option 2, there's no real explanation other than the multiverse, which is pretty much the foundation comic books were built on. So
Very true.
also fair.
Yes.
Option 3, Morbius is a hilariously important part of the MCU and Sony's universe colliding story. There's obviously going to be playing out over the course of the next few years, primarily in No Way Home, Doctor Strange and Multiverse Madness, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And the key to understanding it all, the nexus point. Is this vampire movie starring Jared Leto that endearing looks like it opened 3 months after Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer? I suppose we'll find out when Morbius debuts in theaters on January 28th.
Dang, bro, they played him dirty. Dang, they brought up Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is still the best Fantastic Four movie out of the 3, technically 4 that exist.
Oh shoot! I forgot about the one from the '90s that does exist.
Yeah, well,
I don't
it
even
does.
count that.
I was gonna say it does, but it doesn't.
That's like, do we count
I was
the?
saying no, it doesn't.
I was
We
gonna say, do
talked
we
about this
count-
before. It doesn't count.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we count '92's Captain America?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, I said 3. That's why I say 3 technically 4.
Speaking of which, I watched that Captain America before we leave,
Yeah.
and it's not bad. You know, it's obviously made in the '90s
And super
as
corny.
lazily as they could.
Yeah.
but like, it's not bad. Like, it's one of those movies that you could turn on just for fun,
Right.
not to sit there and watch a good movie. Because if you're
right.
gonna do that, you're gonna watch anything Spider-Man.
That's pretty true. I was I haven't. There's like only one Spider movie I still haven't seen, which was Amazing Spider-Man 2 for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to go not go to break. The show's over now.
Yeah, we're outta here.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and for those of you on Twitch watching, thank you so much for that. You can catch us back again next week, same time and same channel, technically. So. Yeah, we'll have, who knows what we'll be talking about next week. You'll have to tune in to find out. So, this has been the Shut-Ins Talk Show. I've been Jacob Pickett.
And I've been Gavin, the chef cook.
And we'll see you all next time.
You gonna find out.
This has been the Shut-Ins Talk Show.
love
Be
this
sure to
job.
tune in every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. only on WZIS 90.7.
I could do this all day.
All right, Twitch viewers, even though there's only one left, and that's technically us.
What's with all the chats in there, bro?
Bye-bye. Well, it was Jordan talking, and I think he... Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Twitch, Sorry, Twitch/YouTube, you couldn't hear that because I had turned that off, but it was me talking on the radio. It was cool. Okay, bye.